Happy hump day. It's pretty likely that you negotiate something every single day, even if perhaps you're not realizing that you're actually in a negotiation. It can be something as simple as who's picking up the kids from school, or a more complex conversation and negotiation with a client about deliverables and time frames, or a negotiation with your boss about a pay rise or time off work. If you don't know how to negotiate or can't negotiate well, it's pretty likely that you're going to end up agreeing to things that either you don't want to do, or you're going to get less value, meaning you'll either get paid less or get less time off work or get less of what it is that you want. So, being able to negotiate is a critical skill in all aspects of life. Here's 5 things to consider. Firstly, know your mindset. Negotiations can be mentally taxing, and it's likely that your mind is going to be pushed and pulled in many different directions. If you go into a negotiation with the perspective that I'm right, they're wrong, it's going to be much harder for you to find common ground and therefore progress positively. Secondly, understand the wants. Know what you want from the negotiation, and also understand and seek to understand what the other party wants from the negotiation as well. As part of that, pick your timing, because it's really important to consider when you're making the ask. But most importantly, make sure you make the ask. I always operate on the motto, don't ask, don't get. Thirdly, get ready. That means think about the negotiation process in terms of how it can unfold. You might even like to think about possible scenarios, so possible steps in the process and options that might be put forward and how you're wanting to respond to those options. Part of that is really knowing what you're willing to trade. When you're negotiating for something, it's not likely you're going to get everything you want. So understand your priorities and what's the most important for you, and therefore what you're willing to give up or trade off in return for getting something else that matters to you more. Fourthly, value the relationships. Negotiations are obviously easier if you know the people who are involved in the negotiation, but it's also really important to think long term, because the person who you're negotiating with is likely that you're going to have to negotiate with them again. So if you go all in and it's all about you and all about what you want, and the other person walks away feeling marginalized or don't feel as though their dignity's been left intact or somehow feel hard done by, that's going to stay with them, and they'll remember that the next time they go into a negotiation with you. And fifthly, have resolve. There's no doubt that a negotiation process can be tiring. Sometimes it actually can take a number of rounds, but it's being really consistent and you holding true to what really matters to you. It's also really important to respond mindfully and not reactively. So make sure you're slowing yourself down through the negotiation process. And if you start to feel uncomfortable, breathe really deeply, because you need to make sure that the thinking part of the brain is activated throughout the whole process. So next time, consider these 5 steps. Let's get going. Have a great day.